Hi, this is going to be a video about cooking a simple meal for two people, and basically this is for me to now understand my setup. It's my first video ever, so I'm going to go through looking how things sound, how the images, light balance, and of course how I feel about cooking, while the point of this is to share it with others, people who might be interested in learning, I don't know, something new, or you're curious about how a combination of flavors is going to turn out. Let's first look at what I've prepared. I have here lentils and split peas. I think this is the term for it. And I've soaked these in water overnight. That makes it, I think, 12 hours already, or even longer. It's 1 p.m. for me now. And this is going to be the main ingredient for this dish. I have a small pot here and everything else I need for this dish, like water, spices, and a few other things. I'm going to include these slim sausages. They're from Lidl, not very expensive, and just like a basic combination of carrot, some onion, which I think is a hybrid with shallots. By the looks of it, it's a bit purple. I have one pepper that's slowly going away, so I thought of including this one as well. And yeah, let's see how things go. Obviously, I'm gonna edit things in the end. You might see skips in the video, so not everything is going to be in one go, but I'm still learning about how I want these to turn out in the end. One practical thing I try to include whenever I cook is to have a place where I throw everything away, just so I don't keep my trash bin where I cook. So it's just gonna be this time a small bowl. Obviously I could have prepared everything ahead and just show the mixing part, so putting things together, but I guess it's an exercise for me to be more comfortable with these things, especially while I'm filming and with me talking about things here. So I'll just go through the entire thing and yeah, see how it turns out in the end. And why not maybe learn something from this for future videos. I'm not even sure at this point if this is gonna be included in the videos I release, but it might be a fun video to look at a while later when I look back on how this started. So nothing fancy, this is me prepping things like in a camping setup. That's why I have a portable stove, small dish to cook in. This is just like a stainless steel pot with a handle. Has a thick bottom on it, so it's going to make things easier for me to cook in. You can use whatever you have, because this is basically what I'm doing now. I'm using something I had around. I didn't purchase the pot, for instance, for this video, so use what you have. If you have a pot that's like maybe with a thinner bottom, you might expect it to go hot way sooner. It's gonna take a bit, and that I think helps with managing everything else on your plate on your table this time. So yeah, you can see I'm peeling garlic as I go, holding it in my hand. The table is quite low for my height, so it's a bit of a pain for me to lean on it. So you might see me actually using stuff, holding them up. I'm not just holding them for the camera. I don't want to bend that low. Right, so told you about throwing things in a bowl, or maybe on a sheet of paper, on paper towel or something like that, so you don't make a mess everywhere, but you also don't go to the trash bin all the time. Right, let me organize things a bit here so they look better. Garlic is gonna come in a bit after everything else, so I don't rush in with the garlic first. Generally, I like to start with the carrot. So I'm not gonna talk techniques here. Everybody's gonna chop things the way they like, and there are so many videos out there on the internet, or maybe just like talking to people on how they do it or watch them do it. This is not by far the best technique, of course, but I just want to quickly prepare a meal just so I get more comfortable with the setup and with the idea of filming things. Nothing crazy going on here. Obviously I've tried many ways to chop veggies, and this is something that's very simple, because my concept here for the video is to show how you can prep something back of your car on a small table. This is like a picnic table. I just threw a cloth over it, and that's practically it. You can cook in a small setting. Maybe you have a small kitchen at home. Maybe you share your space with some other purpose. So you might see this. I'm gonna try to clean it as best as I can. One way for me to do it is just like pull it like so, and I'm just gonna chop this cleanly while I throw away a bit from here. I don't purposely like to waste things, so I'm gonna try to use as much as I can from this, even if it's not the greatest. So this is gonna basically make my chopping of an onion a bit more messy or not that nice looking, but this is gonna be a meal that I cook for myself and my wife, so there's not gonna be a ton of concern about like reviews, the way the cook is, the food is cooked, like is it uniform enough, was it cooked evenly. In the end it is going to be. It's going to be a beautiful blend of flavors anyway. Right, so let me turn this on. Get some heat going on there. I have some olive oil that I'm gonna start off with. You can use whatever else you like. I'm not gonna preach about certain ingredients here, not yet. I do have my own opinions about them, of course, but I guess everybody is gonna use what they have around, or if a specific recipe asks for a certain kind of fat, sure, go for it. Just not gonna be me this time. Right, I usually hold my hand close to the oil, not very close, but like close to it, so I can feel how hot it gets. I can already feel it's getting warm, so I'm just gonna add these through. That's a good sound, good confirmation that things are starting to be cooked. Right, the heat might be a bit too much for this, but you can always like take it away from the flame for a bit or turn it even lower. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, that's the other way around. Okay, got it. Just gonna let these loosen up a bit. Now I'm gonna chop the pepper I have. Bit of an odd shape on some of these. It can go like have like a third bump around it, so you have like 3 ways to cut it. This one makes it easier because it's like two ways, and I'm gonna tell you why, because this is how I'm gonna cut them. I usually like to just go lengthwise, and that's gonna make it easier to dice. I said I'm not gonna talk techniques for chopping or cutting, but it kind of stood out for me the way peppers sometimes have an odd shape, so that makes it difficult to cut or split. Now I can throw things as I go. Oops, I'll make a mess. Yeah, no pressure on how long you leave things for cooking. In a meal like this one, that's like sort of a stew, I guess, in the end. Your priority is gonna be not to burn things, but even if they burn a bit, which I kind of let happen now, you'll see it will add a bit of the charred effect to the taste in the end. As long as it's nothing crazy, it's not gonna spoil your food. Nothing stuck to the bottom, so it's not bad. I'm very used to this part of the cooking process because most of the meals I cook start off with a bit of fat and some of the vegetables. Now this is gonna bring out some of the water from them. I have a soft silicone spatula here. This is heat resistant, so it's not gonna get stuck or anything like that. Right, let me see what's next here. I think I'm gonna go with the sausages. I do this to kind of pre-cook them a bit. Not that they're not good to eat like so, because these are safe to eat as they come in the package. But I think it imparts some of the meat flavors. Sorry about the noise. Again, part of my experiment here is to see how loud things get, what's annoying in a video, what should be edited out. And yeah, I was saying about sausages. Basically, they impart a bit of the flavor to the vegetables, and it makes things not contrast as much, in my opinion. Might be true in cooking theory, might be not, but I find that flavors kind of lose some of their contrast when you add things like so in a cooking process. Instead of separately cooking them, I'm just mashing in there. You'll notice I haven't added the garlic yet. It's because I want these to spend a bit of time on the heat before adding the garlic. And the reason for it is that garlic tends to go a bit bitter soon. You can obviously do what's called a confit, which is steady temperature in a lot of fat, like cooking the garlic, and that's gonna be delicious on its own or used on something else. But this time it's not about any confit. It's about getting as much of a garlic flavor as I can. This is a lot of garlic, maybe for a lot of you out there, but yeah, we love it. We use as much as we can. I'm just gonna slice it this time. Other times I might prefer it grated, or can't find the word for it, but basically you crush it and then you mince it. Yeah, that was the word. Mince the garlic. That's bit more effort and I require a bit more space, so for this setup I'm just gonna go with slices of garlic. Good enough. Right, bit of plastic there. One other ingredient I'm going to add here, you see to the right here I have a jar of it. It's something that was gifted to us. It's a jar of what's called picantella. I think it's a recipe of canned food. I think it's mostly pepper, onions, a few other things in there. It smells a bit vinegary, not a lot of it, but like it's towards an acidic smell. It's like raw paprika in a way with onions, and that's gonna go in here. What else I have around? I have a bit of soy sauce. I like adding this to kind of build up a few layers of flavor with all that's in there. You can add some anchovies if you want at this stage, and I'm saying at this stage because you want it to mellow down on the fishy smell. Usually it works well if you do it now at this stage. Okay, so this is bringing itself together quite nicely. I'm gonna add a bit of salt to this. The sausages have salt in it, but I know the end product I want it a bit salty because I have chickpeas here and split peas, or lentils, what do you call them, and that's gonna pull some of the salt from the product, from the end meal here. Right, so this is just in its own, in the fat I added, so like it's the olive oil, and then it's watery content from the carrot, onion, now the garlic, and the pepper I added. It's a capia pepper. I don't know if that's a term in other countries, but they label it as capia here. So it's not a spicy pepper. This is gonna go in a bit later. It's a smoky paprika powder. You can find it in other versions of it too. Doesn't have to be exactly this. Let me add these bad boys and then some water to this, because I need it to simmer. What you're hearing is some leftover water from this because they were soaking overnight. I'm gonna mix them a bit. Maybe they even brown for a second there, which I don't mind. I'd actually encourage. They're just soaked in water, so they're still hard. You couldn't just eat this. I'm gonna purposely get it to a boil at some point, but I want now to mix this picantella with everything else. No predefined quantity. I think this is based on taste and experience. I've used it before, so I kind of know how it's gonna taste now blended with this. And I think every jar is a bit different. Maybe if it's from last year's, if it's from this year, if it's from a store. This is homemade. The jar we got is homemade. It was a gift, so I can't say how much you should use or how little of it. Right, let me add some water here. Just to about cover it. I'm gonna turn the heat up a bit more. There you go. And just let it simmer. How long? That's just gonna depend on how fast it's gonna cook down the chickpeas and the split peas or lentils, whatever they are. Are they the same thing? Maybe they are. Right, this is gonna go up in temperature. At this stage, I don't think I need to taste for salt yet, but I'm gonna add some of this smoked powder. Looks like a lot. It isn't for our palate. And I have some oregano This is from Greece and I love it. I use it in almost anything. Looks like a lot. It isn't. For our taste. Like I said. Right, I don't have a lid for this. At least not one that I like. The pot has a lid, but it's the sort that looks really messy. In the end, it makes things just overflow. Don't like that. So I'm just gonna let it slowly simmer. Maybe it's gonna bubble, maybe it's gonna splatter here and there. That's fine. This is a time for me to figure out how easy this is to be cleaned afterwards. It's messy cooking. I know many videos out there have like impeccable white sheets and where people who wear like white apron. I have a dark colored one here. This is like a flex to not spill anything and not splatter everywhere. I've been cooking since I was a kid and honestly I've never minded getting food all over the place. It's part of the process, I guess. Just let me stabilize that for a sec there. And I think towards the end, when this is gonna cook down to the flavor I like, I'm gonna cut this in half and just add some of the juices, if not all of the juices from half of this. But I do it at the end so I preserve the flavor of the lemon and the level of acidity that I want. If you add it early, you're gonna get some of the taste in it, but I don't think you're gonna get enough of the acidity. I think that's gonna mellow down. Right, so again, these were chickpeas and lentils soaked in overnight. This is gonna take a while to cook, so very likely I'm just gonna pause filming for a while and get back to this in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. See how they turn out. See you in a bit. Right, so this is, I think, after 8 minutes, almost 10 minutes. We lost water, so I'm just gonna add a bit extra to this together with soy sauce, because I mentioned it in the beginning. I didn't add any. I have tasted to just check the doneness level for the lentils and the chickpea, and they're just about there. It's not there yet. I think this is gonna take another 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. I turned down the flame a tad, but now I'm gonna bring it back up because we're gonna lose water again. Here we go. As far as taste goes, it's good for salt, it's good for savoriness, a bit sweet, I think, from the onion and the carrot and the pepper. But I want it more acidic by the end of this, so this is why I'm gonna use some lemon, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna give this a bit more so it cooks through, and we'll see how it turns out then. Right, okay, so back to this. I've pulled out a couple of the chickpeas earlier and tried them, and I did the same with the split peas, and you can try to pull them out however you want. Doesn't matter if you pull out some of the vegetables too, but most importantly, let them cool off a bit. Right, so I left them on the side for a bit, and then they were pretty cool. And just eat one if they're in the range of textures that you're used to, that you enjoy eating. That's gonna be your final decision, I guess. You can also test them by just like smashing. They have a bit of resistance to them. They're not super soft. I don't like them when they become way too soft. That's something you're going to look for maybe if you boil them for hummus or something similar. But for a stew, I like them a bit firm. I don't mind them. Plus, they are gonna carry a bit of the heat with them. Turning this off now, since I just mentioned it. And yeah, by the time you plate and serve, it's gonna carry on cooking for a bit. Not a lot, but it's gonna count as well. Let me bring this closer to the camera so you see. Oh, too much steam. So you see kind of the ratio between like solids and the liquids. You can add more water if you want it more soupy. If you want it more like a solid dish, let it boil a bit longer. Just make sure you stir every now and then so it doesn't stick. If you're gonna plate this with rice or with bread, you want to keep some of the liquids, of course. I think we're just gonna eat it as is, and best enjoyed, in my opinion, is together with some pickles or sauerkraut, anything like that. So let's see how it's gonna look on a plate. This is a deeper plate since we have some of the liquid in there, and I'm just gonna plate two of these and enjoy them. And as I said, we like to enjoy them with some shredded pickled cabbage. This is sauerkraut, or very similar to those recipes of sauerkraut. Good balance. It was off camera, didn't show it, but I added lemon from another one. This one I found out I had a lemon that was going bad, so I used that one. You can add vinegar, of course. Just make sure you do it at the end, mix it and taste it, and then that's gonna be your dish. I guess this was the experiment I was running. This is nothing outstanding for me in terms of like cooking meals at home. I do this often. I went with simple, I don't know, not too much thinking going through with making this dish, and the tools I used are something that anyone can get or maybe just already have at home, such as a stove. If it's not a portable stove like this camping one, just use your regular stove, electric or gas, doesn't matter. And I don't know, practice, enjoy your dishes, enjoy your meals. It's good to have such a skill. It's good to make your family happy with what you prepare. It's not gonna be every time the best dish, but hopefully you create your own portfolio of what you often cook, or your go-to meals, your comfort foods, so on and so forth. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope to see you around, and yeah, hope you guys take care. Bye.